Hello and welcome to the Partygammon.com World Series of Backgammon, coming to you from the millionaire's playground that is Cannes on France's glamorous Côte d'Azur. I'm Cara Scott and I'm going to be leading you through a feast of world-class action as the big names in the world of backgammon fight it out for a €200,000 prize pool and the first two events in the World Series of Backgammon, the Nations Cup and the Cannes Riviera Cup. Backgammon is one of the most fiercely competitive games in the world with its unique balance of skill and luck. Never is this more apparent than in the Nations Cup, where teams from 21 countries hammer it out over the boards. Also unique to this tournament is this year's clock rule, forcing teams and players to think fast and play faster. This was met with mixed reactions from the players.
It's very fast this year and it's we're not so used to it, but it's fun. I mean, they should keep it this way.
The clock makes you play faster, so there are complications that you just don't have time to work out.
There's been some inventive play this year and a certain amount of luck. Now at the final stages, we've gone from 21 teams down to just 2. The USA's defeat of Russia and Denmark's destruction of the Ukraine has led them to a power clash in the final. The first leg of the final saw the USA's Ray Fogerlund comfortably beat Denmark's Morten Holm 11-2. This leaves Denmark needing to win the second.
Yeah, baby!
To take the final to a consultation decider. And joining me now to analyse the draw and chew the fat is John Clark, one of the UK's best players, and we have a very special guest as well, don't we?
Yes, Cara, it's my pleasure to introduce Mike Nathanzone, otherwise known as Falafel, my own personal favourite as the best player in the draw. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, John and Cara. It's a real pleasure to be with you here today.
Well, it's great to have you here. Now, before we get you guys looking at the draw, why don't we take a look at what the Nations Cup is actually all about?
Okay, Cara. The Nations Cup is a team event consisting of 3 or 4 players, including 1 or 2 reserves. They start by playing 2 7-point matches on the clock as singles. If those matches are shared, they will then play a deciding 9-point match on the clock as a consulting pair.
Okay, well, has the clock caused any problems yet so far in the tournament?
Oh, you bet, Cara. I've seen matches almost lost on the clock.
Okay, well, I'm sure we have our special guest here. We should ask him some questions. Let's use his knowledge. We do have the great Falafel, so what do you want to ask him?
Okay, Falafel. The up-and-coming match is between Peter Jez Thompson of Denmark, a former world champion, and the great American veteran Perry Gartner. How do you see this panning out?
Well, I've known both players for a few years now, from the days when I used to live in New York. Peter is a friend of mine also, happens to be a close friend, and he's a past world champion. He's definitely considered to be a favorite in the match. And Perry, you know, fine player by his own rights, but certainly Peter has the edge going into that match.
We saw an explosive match yesterday with a surprising result, really, considering the error rates.
Yes, that was quite a surprise because Ray Fogerlund from the USA is certainly capable of playing better than he did, and Morten Holm perhaps outdid himself by a little bit, but he's a really, really good player and perhaps a bit underrated also.
Now, before we actually take a look at this great final match, why don't we get some more information on our finalists? Peter Jez Thompson is a world-renowned player, having won at least 2 major international titles, and he's arguably the backbone of the Danish team. Perry Gartner for Team USA has 4 decades of playing experience and numerous titles to his name. And at double the age of any of the Danes, he's still sharp as a razor. So, John, for those viewers at home who are new to this game, what's backgammon all about then?
Okay, Cara. Backgammon is essentially a dice game played on a board consisting of 24 narrow triangles called points. Each point represents 1 pip of the dice. Thus, if you roll a 4, you can move 1 checker forwards 4 points. You roll a 6, you can move it forward 6 points. Doubles have to be played twice. Thus, a double 2, for example, could be played like this. 2 checkers from the back are advanced 2 points, and 2 checkers descend from the midpoint, but effectively advancing 2 points as well. The overall objective of the game is to get all of your checkers into your home board and then born off into the checker tray. However, as these checkers move around the board, because each player plays in an opposite direction, a conflict occurs.
And just to ratchet up the pressure against our teams, They also have to play each match against a clock. Players can start and stop their clock by hitting a button to their right of the backgammon board, just like this and just like that. Now players have 9 seconds to roll their dice and make their play. If they fail to make their play and stop their clock, they start eating into their reserve time. And this could be disastrous, because if you run out of time, you lose the match. It's as simple as that. With high stakes comes high pressure. And I, for one, can't wait. So let's bring it on and go over to John Clark in the commentary box.
Match number 2 in the final of the Nations Cup between Denmark and the USA. Representing Denmark, we have Peter Des Thompson, and for the USA, we have Perry Gardner. Once again, I'm joined in the commentary box by Carter Mattig, who commentated on the first match we had between Denmark and the USA. Another one of your countrymen, Carter.
Yeah, we've taken a 1-0 lead, and now we have Perry trying to knock out Peter Des Thompson to win the title.
Yes, quite right. Peter Des Thompson for Denmark has to win this match to send it into a 9-point shootout deciding final. And this is a match he'll really want to win.
Yes, it's very important. If he loses this is the game for Denmark.
And this is a 7-point match. The score is currently 2-1 in favor of the American Gardner. And Perry Gardner is playing the red checkers, has a commanding lead in this particular game, especially now that he's made a 4-point board. He's looking where to play the 4th 4, and he can either bring one down from the midpoint or he can advance his back checker. Personally, I would have advanced the back checker.
Safety play.
2-1 comes in, played very quickly by Peter Des Thompson.
Peter's not wasting any time here to make his plays. I think he's worried about time pressure.
Yeah. Although in the early part of the match, these players are not under any particular time pressure. But certainly Peter Des Thompson is a tremendous clock player. I had the either pleasure or misfortune of playing him myself in the last 8 of the Nordic Open in the year 2000 on the clock. I lost, and I felt totally outmaneuvered by Peter on the clock. Terrific shot from Peter Des. That makes his board with a double 2 and brings the checker down to help control the outfield. And a very tricky 4-3 for Perry Gardner. Red to play a 4-3. How do you see this, Carter?
I don't know. You really want to keep that prime in front of him, but you don't want to volunteer a shot, especially with his 4-point board. It's going to be hard. I may give him the ace shot right now.
Yeah, he's just played in. Okay, of course, this is more shots than if you just brought both down and just volunteered the 6 shots. Because it gets hit with a 6-4 as well as all 11 ones. No, he decides to go for the minimum blots option. And a double 5. And now he's looking as to whether to hit. If he does hit, the 1s will be duplicated. And he's trying to imagine what to do. If he does hit, then he's banking on tunneling out. And he goes for the hit.
Yeah, if he misses here, he's got some serious problems going.
Oh, and Perry's looking at the cube. And here it comes. He looks at yellow with 3 checkers behind a 5 prime. He's on the roof. He's hitting with 11 shots.
Oh, instant take.
Instant take.
Oh, scary.
Well, he's got his man. And that's a 2-6 from the bar, which is
that's Ray Fogerland's
more or less a forced play. And 6-5, also rather forced. Of course, Peter Des Thompson.
Oh, bad number for Perry here. Goodbye, prime.
That may well have been the only shot-leaving number. And I think that was the only shot-leaving number, Carter.
Yeah, double